Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to Montana Tines. I am Doug Joppa, your host. Today we're going to be going through some boots. Some of my favorite boots, some of my least favorite boots, but we got 4 boots for you today. We got the Salomon Quest, we got the Crispi Idaho GTX, we got the Kenetrek Mountain Guides, and we got the Zamberlan Vioz, their first edition. They have changed since then, just an FYI. These Vioz boots would be more like what their Kodiak boots are right now. But we're going to go into a little bit about each of them, tell you what ones are our favorite, what ones aren't, a little bit about why, and some of what you can expect while you're wearing them. So here we go. We're going to start off with first we'll go with the Zamberlan Vioz first. The Zamberlan Vioz boot. It is a full leather upper boot. It has a Vibram sole as well. I don't have really much great to say about the Zamberlan Vioz. Zamberlan, I was really excited to try their boots when I first got them a couple years ago, and I was quickly disappointed. I sent them in within the first couple months. I had to get the toe box worked on. They do have a full rubber rand around them. And it seems like whatever glue they used or adhesive doesn't really hold up right. They are comfortable. They do last a while. I've popped a couple stitches on them and such, but they're not my favorite boot, but they're definitely not the worst boot out there either. I would say probably Danners are my least favorite of all boots, but I found them to be extremely slick in the mountains. I wasn't able to get a lot of good grip going up hilltops, across ridges. They sucked in the snow. I was slipping and sliding everywhere. And, they weren't what I was expecting out of a boot that costs so much. These are right around $350 or so, maybe a little more. And for that amount of money, I expect a lot out of my boots, and they didn't really live up to the expectation. They are a full leather upper. They do have Gore-Tex. They have everything that you would want in a boot. I don't know. I don't know why they're so much more slick. I don't know whether it's a tread pattern. I don't know what it is, but they quickly became my least favorite boot. Out of all the boots I owned and out of most of the boots I've worn, with the exception of my Danners. So if you're looking for a boot around $350, if they fit your foot and if you're confident in them and you think they're going to be the boot for you, I would try them, I guess. I won't ever buy another pair of Zamberlans. I know I have a couple buddies that won't buy any more pairs of Zamberlans either, but at the end of the day, it's what fits your foot. My next boot, and this might be my favorite budget boot, is the Salomon Quest. These boots have it's called their Contra Grip outsole, and they live up to the advertisement. They are extremely well built. They have really, really good traction, really good ankle support system. They're a lightweight, breathable boot. They've got the Cordura fabric that they're made out of. They do have a Gore-Tex membrane, so they are waterproof as well. They are a great boot. I've hunted in these boots for 2 years now, mostly doing my, I guess you would call early season stuff, so shed hunting in the spring when it's warm outside. A lot of my summer hiking I do when I'm trying to get in shape. And my August, when I'm archery hunting antelope in the beginning of archery season for elk, I've used these for the last 2 years, and they have held up. They're awesome boots. One thing I do not like about these Salomon boots is that they are a mid-upper, I guess I should say is more accurate. They go a little bit past your ankles, but they're not quite as high as an upper as you'd get on these Crispis, these Kenetreks, or the Zamberlans. So the reason that's a big deal is if you're not wearing gaiters and you're hunting in a wet environment, whether it's just after a rainstorm or whether there's a marsh you're traveling through, you do get some seepage of water over the top of them, and that'll wet your socks, wet your feet, and kind of make for a miserable day. but they make up for that in other places with their overall build quality. Their Contra Grip outsole is rock solid. I wasn't slipping at all. They're breathable. They're waterproof to a point, as long as you don't get water coming over the top and in. They're a good boot. These run for about $250, so they are definitely the best budget boot out here of these four. They're going to be about $100 to $150 less than the rest of these boots, and they're going to last just as long, and you're going to get some good seasons out of them, and you're going to be comfortable while you do it. They're nice because you can hike in the summer. You can throw a weighted pack on and go for a training hike with them, and they're definitely the most athletically built and athletic feeling boot of these boots. It almost feels like you're wearing a pair of high top tennis shoes when you're walking and hiking in them. And yeah, they're an awesome boot. And for $250, they are a hard boot to beat. The next boot is the Kenetrek Mountain Guides. These are a full leather upper boot. They are an awesome boot. They are the most durable boots. They're made here in Montana. That's where Kenetrek is based out of Bozeman. These Mountain Guides, they have a Vibram sole on the bottom. A very hard rubber, lasts you a long time. They've got a rubber rand on the toe box to help against abrasion. And if you're someone that hunts a lot of late hunting season, foul weather, snowy, cold type of environments, you're sheep hunting, you're goat hunting, things of that nature, they're an awesome boot to have. They're crampon approved. They have a lip on the back and on the toe box, so you can mount a pair of crampons to them. And they're comfortable. They've got their Wintex membrane, which is like a Gore-Tex membrane. They really do the job to keep your feet dry, keep your feet warm. They have an uninsulated and insulated version. I went with the uninsulated because I run hot, and my feet were still hot in the uninsulated version. We got a cute baby joining in today, wondering what the hell I'm talking about, and maybe someday she'll be doing this with me. So, yeah, that's what you're hearing in the background. Eat your food. But guys, next up is the Kenetrek boots that I was talking about. These are the Kenetrek Mountain Guides. They're full leather upper. They've got a rubber rand on the toe box. They are a Vibram soled boot, and they are a extremely durable boot. They're my favorite late season boot, cold weather boot. And they're rock solid. Kenetrek has a great reputation. They're based here out of Montana, and they make some awesome boots. The difference between these Mountain Guides and the Mountain Extremes is two things, really, two big things. One is the rubber rand on these Mountain Guides does not go all the way around like it does on the Mountain Extremes. And also their outsole, instead of being a Vibram sole on the Mountain Extremes, they're what they call their K-Talon sole. Now, Kenetrek has also changed soles on these Mountain Guides for 2020. They will also be what's called their K73 sole, which is supposed to be a super sole, I guess. Really grippy in the rocks, super grippy in the in wet weather and slick conditions. So you might want to check that one out. These Kenetrek boots, like I said, they're my favorite all-around cold weather boot and late season boot. They are absolutely bomb-proof. I've had these for 6 or 7 years, been hunting in them, put on a ton of miles, and they still look like they came out of the box last year. Kenetrek does a great job, and you can't say enough about them. Both their Mountain Guides and their Mountain Extremes are rock-solid boots. Yeah, you can't really say anything more about them. Like I said, they're crampon approved. They've got a lip on the front, lip on the back, so you can put crampons in them. And, so if you're a sheep hunter and stuff like that, and you're going over, icy stuff, you have that ability with these, which is another thing that the Mountain Extremes don't have. These are an uninsulated version. I don't know if I've said that already. They have an insulated and uninsulated version of those Mountain Guides. I had to get the uninsulated version because I run hot, and these boots will keep you warm. That's why they're my favorite late season boot. So you just kind of got to do your due diligence on that. See what is going to work for you. I know I bought my pair of insulated Kenetreks for my wife. and she thinks they're too hot half the time because they're that well done. Let's see here. So I've kind of gone through these 4 boots, and I've kind of ranked them as far as like my favorite to least favorite. And I would have to say my least favorite of these 4 would be the Zamberlan Vioz. Just the crappy, shitty luck I had with them. The build quality wasn't quite up to par with what I was expecting. The rubber rand was peeling off within the first couple days. My feet did get wet in them, even though they do have a Gore-Tex lining. And they're really expensive for what what they're asking. You should be getting a way better boot for the price they're asking. So those are definitely my least favorite boot, but if they fit your foot and you think they're comfortable and you want to give them a go, don't hesitate. They're still better than Danners in that, and they'll get the job done. My favorite budget boot of all is this Salomon Quest. For about $250, you really can't beat it for early season and warm weather hunting. It has an awesome outsole. It has great build quality, awesome ankle support, and Salomon's a good company as well. They've been known to have really good outdoor footwear, and they you won't be disappointed with them, especially for somewhere around $250. They really do a good job. They're also Gore-Tex lined. Your feet aren't going to get wet unless you have seepage over the top, but that can be solved with a pair of good gaiters. So you might want to look at a pair of gaiters with the money that you're saving on boots if you do decide to go that route. I guess my favorite boot for late season, like I've said, is the Kenetrek Mountain Guide. For cold weather, late season hunts, you cannot beat them. Their one drawback is they're heavy, and you can feel it over a long day of hiking. You'll feel the weight on your feet, but they have amazing ankle support. They have an amazing outsole in their Vibram sole, super grippy, super well built, gonna keep your feet warm. They have what's called it's a WindTech membrane, so they're waterproof as well with that. And they're just the most durable boot out of the ones I have. The absolute most durable boot. You can beat the hell out of them. And they are just going to keep going with you. I do believe that their mountain guides are resolable as well, so you can always get a new sole put on them if you start running through yours. That's a big thing for me. You don't have to necessarily buy a whole new pair of boots. You can just get them and put a new sole on them. But that might have changed as well with 2020, so you got to check that out, do your research, and see if that might be an option for you as well. They're made in Montana, the Kenetreks are, so they're close to my heart. I like to keep stuff in the state, but that brings me to my next boot. These Crispi Idaho GTXs are a tough boot to beat. They are the most well-rounded boot out of all these boots. You can wear them in late season if you want to. Put a pair of gaiters on, wear a thicker sock, and you'll be just fine. But during the spring, during the early fall, during August when you're hunting antelope with your bow, they are extremely lightweight. You can cover country and lots of it and not feel like you're wearing anything. They have an awesome ankle support system that Crispi has designed themselves that just locks your foot in place and gives you the absolute maximum support you can have. They are good underweight, so if you are successful and you're hauling out elk quarters, you're not going to be missing anything with these boots. They are supportive. They help you along the way, and you can really get after it with them. I was a little bit skeptical of the Cordura and the suede upper instead of a full leather upper, just to see how it would hold up, and they have done an amazing job. They've held up very, very well. And for 2020, Crispi now has their puncture-proof upper. It's still made out of suede and Cordura, but it's puncture-proof, so it'll protect against rocks, broadheads, things of that nature. So that's something else to check into as well. These are number 3 on their flex scale rating, so they're flexible. They work with you, not against you. They are just a fabulous boot. The overall construction of these Crispi Idaho boots and Crispi boots in general, I always thought Kenetrek was really, really, really tough to beat, and I've worn Kenetrek, and I didn't want to change from them. and I took the plunge. I went and bought a pair of these Crispis, and I am glad I did. And now I honestly don't know if I will buy a different pair of boots besides Crispi. They have boots that are a full leather upper. You can check out their Nevadas for an uninsulated full leather upper boot, or you can check out their Wild Rock boot if you're looking for something insulated. Both full leather uppers, both a great build. If they're anything like this one, they're going to work for you and be an exceptional boot for years to come. The super grip outsole on these is amazing. I don't slip. I just can't say enough about the Crispi boots. Between these Crispis and these Kenetreks, they're probably two of the best boots on the market. You can't go wrong with either of them. The main drawbacks for both of these boots is going to be your price range. You're going to be looking at $350 about, maybe a little over for these Crispis. And I want to say that these Mountain Guides were like $450 or $495 or something stupid like that. They're expensive, but like I said, they've lasted me 6 years, and I've probably got another, another few years into them anyway. The grip is all still there. The leather looks really, really good. So everything is working out well for these boots. These Crispi boots, awesome boot. They took a lot of beating last year, especially after I shot my elk. But they have an amazing sole on the bottom, super grippy, super well built. You can see that rubber rand going around the outside and such. They're just an awesome boot. So they're definitely worth the money that you spend. You're going to get more than one season out of them. I figure with these Kenetreks, I don't even know how many more seasons I have on those. They've lasted that well for, the 5 or 6 seasons I've had them. And these Crispis, I probably have another, 2 seasons in them, depending on, how much use I put them through during spring shed hunting and stuff like that. So they'll last a long time. And boots are going to be expensive, especially if you want something that's quality and something that is going to last. So Crispi Idaho is definitely my best all-around boot. Lightweight, super awesome build. Kenetrek, best late season and most durable boot. Salomon Quest is your best budget buy boot at $250 for the type of boot that you're getting out of that. That's tough to beat for anybody. And then the Zamberlan boots are my least favorite, but if they fit your feet and you think they're going to do well for you, then take the plunge and try them out. That brings me to just about boots in general, guys. Your feet are your most important things that you have, besides maybe your lungs, because they allow you to breathe. But during the elk hunting game and shed hunting and just any type of hunting, really, your feet are important. Once your feet start to go, once you start to get sore feet, once you start to get blisters, things of that nature, everything takes a downhill turn. So you have to have good footwear, and you have to take care of your feet. You have to try to keep them dry. You have to try to keep them comfortable, and so that you can keep going. No one likes hunting in blisters. We've all probably done it, especially if you cover miles and you try new boots all the time. We've all had blisters, and we've all had hot spots, and we've all had sore feet, and it sucks. It really does. But you can get away with a lot of that by just doing your research, trying on boots, figuring out what's best for you. You got to look online, read these reviews, watch this review, watch other reviews on these boots. Go to the store, try on all these boots, walk around the store with them for a while, and just see how they feel on your feet. Because at the end of the day, the best boot is the one that fits you. It's not the one that costs the most. It's not the one that costs the least amount. It's the one that fits you. It's the one that fits your foot. The one that you find most comfortable. Read online. Watch YouTube reviews. Do anything and everything you can, because your feet are the most important thing. You have to put your diligence, your due diligence into this kind of stuff. It's not going to always be the most expensive boot that's the best one for you. It could be any of them up here. But you have to make sure you take care of your feet. You have to make sure you're in the right gear so that you can get back there and have the time in the field to have a successful hunt. Sore feet and blisters and stuff takes away from the time that you're out there hunting. and it does decrease the amount of success that you might have. So, you know, I would advise you to read as much as you can, watch as much YouTube videos on them as you can, try them on in the store, walk around in them, and if you find one that you really like and that fits your feet, it doesn't matter what brand it is, it doesn't matter, you know, the only thing that matters is that it fits you and that it's the boot for you. So that's where we're at. Like I said, guys, go like this video, subscribe to the channel here on YouTube, hit that big red button. If you're not listening to this on YouTube, if you're listening to this on the podcast stations or what have you, then like the podcast, share the podcast, subscribe to the podcast channel, and yeah, just keep looking. We're going to be doing a another gear review on backpacks here in the near future. Probably reviewing both Mystery Ranch and my Kafaru pack, because that's the ones that I have here now. And talking about other gear that is out there, other packs and things of that nature that you can buy and use, and that hopefully will work out for you. So anyways, guys, like I said, subscribe to the YouTube channel, look for that next backpack review. The filming will be better than this one. I'll have the time to actually do a good job at it, but hopefully this gave you guys some knowledge and some insight. If you're listening on the podcast, then you know, get over and watch the YouTube video so you can see the boots. And yeah, go do your research, find a pair of boots, do it now, so if you need to change them, you can. And yeah, just be working hard to achieve your goals, and have a good day. Laters.